What is up, everyone? I hope your day is going fantastic. Mine, can't really say the same. Anything, enough about me. Let's get into today's topic. This is one of my many not so legal activities during high school. I'm gonna be telling the story about my first time getting caught with the yart on me in school. And YouTube, this is totally fake, just a random storytelling. So don't take me down. Anyways, so like it basically started off as like any fucking normal day, you walk into school, meet up with the homies, and then like at this time we were all like huge cheaters, bro. Like I'm talking, we couldn't go like a whole day without the cart, or like we would start going crazy and shit. Any day, anyways, like today I brought my cart to school, and I was like feeling generous because like it was pretty much brand new and pretty full, so I was like, why not? I don't mind fucking sharing. So pretty much I got into homeroom, dapped up the homeboys, and then like we chilled there for like 10 minutes, and then my homie asked me like, yo, you want to go rip the cart? And I was like, yeah, sure. So basically we went into the bathroom, hit the cart a couple times, and then like advisory ends, and so I wasn't like feeling much at the time, but then like when I went to first period, I was like, I just like fell asleep. I was hella sleepy and shit. Like it wasn't even like an indica card or anything. It was hybrid, but like that shit still made you so sleepy. And then like second period, I did the same. Just slept through that shit. And then after second period at my school, we got like this study hall, and so like me and my homies, we meet up in the same homeroom classroom, and because like the teacher there is so chill, she didn't really care what we did at all. Uh, and like we just vibing in there for like 10 minutes, like riding out our highs. And then like homie just hits me up again. He's like, yo, let's go rip the card again. And I'm like, I was still feeling the shit at the time, but I was like, for sure, like I'll hit again. Maybe I'll get like another high or something. And so like we walk into the bathroom with like two of our other friends, and there's these three dudes in there. Just like two of these guys are just giving this guy the worst fade ever, bro. Like that shit is not blending. Like that is just a full ass transition, not a fade. And like basically, like we just watch him getting like the back of his head fucked up by these two dudes for like 5 minutes, just like post up against the wall, like tapping the card and shit. Because like my school got these smoke detectors in their bathroom, and like so you had to blow the smoke out the window. So like another dude just walks in after this shit, bro. And like this dude, like he cuts hair, like he like actually gets like paid for it. He's like a amateur barber and shit. And like he does like pretty good shit. And then my homeboy just out of nowhere, like just asked like, yo, could I get like a real quick fade or something? And dude just like, sure, because the other dude who was like fucking this guy's head up had another pair of clippers. So my homeboy and this dude are now just both getting two haircuts in the bathroom, and there's just like six other dudes just like posted up against the wall, just like all tapping the card and shit. And like my homie, he had the geek bar on him at the time, and like at the time I like never did Nick at all. Like I've never been like the biggest fan of Nick or like a fiend at all, but like I never hit this shit. This was probably like my fifth time hitting Nick ever. But like basically I like was a total noob when it came to like vaping Nick. And so like I pass him the cart, he slides me the Nick, and then like I didn't really think about hitting it or anything. I was just like in the middle of the bathroom, and so like I just like tap it, and I like when I go to tap it, when I inhale, like I let a little bit of smoke out. And like it wasn't the biggest deal because like this shit happens all the time, and the detector like never goes off, so I didn't like think anything of it. But like all my homies just like looking at me like, you're a total fucking dumbass, bro. And then like I go blow the rest of that shit out the window, tap it like once more, uh then just go throughout my third period. Like my third period was the same classroom. I had math with that teacher. So I was just like in the back of the classroom fucking playing like Clash of Clans and like watching Moon Knight or something like that. And then like fourth period comes by, I got chemistry. I'm pretty sure my teacher in that class was like really autistic or something. But like it kind of made the class funnier because there was a bunch of like those dumbasses who just do whatever the fuck they want. I got like a bunch of stories about her crashing out. One time I sprayed like fart spray in her classroom, and it was so bad. So like let me know if y'all want to hear one of those stories. But basically that class went by fine. And then head up to my fifth period art class. Now my art teacher, he is like the absolute go. This man has like 100% in life, like all the side quests complete, bro. Like if you ask him anything, bro, like he'll have a life story to tell about that exact same experience he's had. Like he's told me a bunch of his stories about like his shroom trips and shit, and like so I just like walked up there stoned out of my mind, you know. I dap him up my teacher. He looks at me. He knows I'm fucking like high out of my mind, and like I'm ready to just sit down and just draw whatever the fuck I want for the next 45 minutes. So like the class was fine, but like my teacher just like after he saw me like that, he was like, "Yo, bro, like my best friend just got like expelled the last week before this because he had a card on him." It was like, "Yo, bro, watch out what you're doing." Like those teachers just had a meeting about like cracking down on what's going on in the bathrooms, and like I just like kept that in the back of my mind. I'm like, "I'm fine, you know. I've been doing this shit for a while. I've never been caught. I thought I would be fine." So like after fifth period, I got lunch, and like I didn't sit in the cafeteria. Me and my homeboys, we sat in that exact same classroom. So like we were there for basically half our day, but like we ate lunch in there. I never ate lunch at school, so I just like plopped down in the back, you know, put my shit down, and then just like waited for the homeboys to pull up. They got their food, came back, and then like 5 minutes later, we just like geeking up, and then my homeboy asked me again, you know, like to tap a cart because he was like the biggest fiend out of the group, you know. And like I don't want to at the time, so I just like let him go to the bathroom. He come back 5 minutes later, and then like we just all sitting down and talking, and then out of nowhere, like we just hear this knock on the door, bro, and we look at it, and it's the fucking dean of student affairs, bro. Like he walks in the classroom, and I'm like, fuck, bro. And he calls out me and the homie with the geek bar's name, and he's like, "Yo, come with me." And I start sweating, bro. Like my stomach felt like I had so many fucking butterflies in it and shit. And like I was like sweating while we walking down there, like nervous out of my mind. Like the cart was in my pocket, so like I like pushed it up like my sleeve and then hid it in my waistband. And then like while we're walking down there, it's like kind of jiggling around because I didn't like have a belt on or anything, so it wasn't in place. But like he sits us down at his office desk, bro. I go to sit my fat ass in the chair. Right as I sit down, bro, not even joking, that cart slips out of my waistband and falls all the way down my fucking pant leg. Just makes a loud ass noise on the wooden table, bro. And like I go to pick it up, like, "Oh shit, that was my AirPods. They fell out of my pocket." But they are not buying that shit because I already looked stoned out of my mind. Like they knew I was on it. They just had to find something. So basically, I had this shit in my hands. They like rip it out of my hands, bro, and then they just like plop that shit right on the table, bro. And I just stare into space for like the next 3 minutes, bro. And like my homeboy just looks at me, bro, and he gives me like that fucking like no way face, you know, with, like his hands on his head and everything, bro. And then so like after this, they just start asking me a bunch of questions about the weed and shit, and then they like metal detect me and my homeboy. Like he had the geek bar on him, but like that shit doesn't go off in metal detectors or nothing. So they just wanted us down, so I had nothing else on me. And then like they see I'm like low key tweaking at the side of the table, like at the something I do. I have a really big problem with like self harm and shit. So like I would like start scratching myself whenever I was like anxious at all. And like they notice this shit, just see me at the table like scratching myself, and they asked me about my life story and shit, and basically I had to confess to them that I'm suicidal and shit. And then they bring down this fat ass lady out of the counseling office for me to talk to, bro. And I like had to tell her like her whole life story, where I was already fucking bawling my eyes out because I thought I was about to get expelled out of school, bro. And so like I told her my whole fucking life story, bro, for the next 40 minutes while my dad's driving to school. And then because we live like hella far away, and then my dad comes, like he tells, like the dean tells him what happened, and then like he's just like pissed at me, bro. Like he didn't say a word to me. He just like looked at me with like that disappointed ass look. I knew I was so dead, bro. That car ride home, like holy shit, those vibes were so bad. It was the most like anxious, intense, and awkward ride home ever, bro. Like he was just like dissing me that whole 45-minute car ride home, bro. First thing I do, I just run up to my room, bro. I run up to my room and just try to sleep as fast as I can, because I'm not trying to deal with my parents during like once they find that shit out, bro. like they would just start going off on me. Like they have no remorse when it comes to that shit, bro. They had no idea I did any of this. They thought I was like a good cookie and shit, just going throughout school. And like, you know, I'm just trying to tell this story because like I don't want y'all to be in the same place as me. Like if y'all gonna be doing shit, I can't really stop you, but if you're gonna do it, I'd rather you do it safe and properly. And like part of that, definitely not ripping the pen in school, bro. Stay safe out there, homies, and have a fantastic day.